Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are working on sketch 14 from Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. And right here you see I'm just taking this piece of paper that I pulled out of a paper pad that I have. I will never use that. It's not even very thick card or thick weighted pattern paper. But because I'm using that white 12 by 12 sheet as the base of my layout, it's super thin. So I'm just going to beef it up. And the reason that I put the white side against the white was because it's thin and all that fabulous paper pattern colors would show through. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm going to go ahead and trim my photos down. We're going to do 2 4x4 photos. And as you can see, that is my little baby when he wasn't even a year old, chilling in his diaper. The kid used to take his clothes off. Like, no matter what I put him in, he would take his clothes off. Children. He was sitting there playing with his Winnie the Pooh toy. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and cut some wonky strips of paper because the sketch that we are using for this day has some weird triangle shapes at the top. Now, I have tried to do this in the past, and I have never, ever in my entire life been very successful at making this look fabulous like they do. So it does not look the same. It looks all weird and wonky, but you know what? It's a Becky creation, so we're going to go with it, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and take this strip that I had as a piece of scrap from another layout that I had done. It was already in a wonky shape, so I layered that up, and then I'm going to layer that light blue up against it as well. At first, I was just going to stick it into my trimmer, but then I realized, with all the overhang, it was too big. So we're just going to go ahead and trim it down. And then I flip it over, and it's got I didn't obviously hit the blue to the corner, but that's okay because I'm like, it's fine. It's I got the element up there. I am now looking at this, and I'm going to go ahead and create the background for the photo cluster, and I'm like, that is just too thick, so we're going to take that down to I think it's a 5x9. There you go. And I'm going to go ahead and take this pattern paper, which I cut too short, and so I'm going to stick that to the side. We're going to use that on a different layout. And we're going to come in again, and we're going to try it one more time. And I do get it that time, and then I just have to figure out how short to cut it again. So again, I'm just I already know that it's 9 inches, but you guys ever do that? The size, but measure 400 times, cut once. Yes, the old carpenter's trick. I'm not an old carpenter. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the polka dot paper down at the bottom there. And I am a tad bit off screen. I do apologize for that. I don't know if I realized that while I'm doing the layout or not. Yep, there we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that adhered down. I am going to go ahead and cut this as well because the sketch calls for a scallop piece. And I really was thinking about getting a scallop border punch, but I like the wonky scallops that I cut. I just cut 4 really big wonky, really, really wonky scallops, and I used the same piece of paper that I did the small triangle at the top so that everything is matching now. I'm going to go ahead and back my photos in this darker blue color. I guess I went with the blues because Winnie the Pooh there has a blue handle on him, and he's got all these toys around him, and to be fair, he's playing with the remote control. Oh, I love children. Love them all. So right here, I'm just going to try to trim these up using my trimmer just to make these a little even, and I should have known better. My trimmer does not cut slivers off like that, so I just come in with my scissors and just trim that one up. This one right here, I am going to go ahead and I leave it alone because it's pretty much the size I want. The only one that I have to cut is this top one right here. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and get those scraps in the recycling bin, and I come back in and trim this little guy up here because I need to make 2 tags. And I knew that it was about 2 inches, but I usually go just a smidge smaller than 2, so I wanted to make sure that it stuck. And then I'm just using my tag punch there, and as you can see, I'm just trimming it down. Now, all of those scraps as well went into my recycling bin. And I know some people are like, why? I have not got into the die cutting and punching yet. I'm still trying to work through a whole bunch of stuff, so I do not keep scraps that size. Right here, I did not hit it center on in that punch, so I'm just trimming that down just to make sure that it doesn't have any weird angles. I'm going to go ahead and stick the first one right about there. And I'm going to come in with the second one. And I do have to, excuse me, I do have to trim it off because it's supposed to go lower. And this is exactly what the sketch calls for. And that space between the top, the picture that's sticking up higher, and the tags bothers me. Like, I don't know if it's just me or what, but oh, it was bothering me. So I do come in with some light blue twine, trying to just keep the light blue factor real. I am using, when you see the die cuts that come on, I'm using the Chamel Field Strip collection. I picked that up at Peachy Cheap. So I don't have any 12 by 12 sheets of pattern paper from that. I only have the 6 by 8 journaling pad. Not a big fan of the journaling pads, but I make them work. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use this little viewfinder in the red to pull out the red, and that little camera there in the pale blue to pull out the pale blue. Not a lot of embellishments on this page, very simple. I'm really trying to stay true to the layouts. I don't know if I've actually went that far off of the, not layout, sketches. This is my first time participating in the Beautiful Life, Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Challenges, so I don't use a lot of sketches. I mean, I know I have the one sketch series that I do on Saturdays where I take a collection and a sketch, and I use it for every Saturday in the month just to see how you can, get that done. I'm going to go ahead and fill that void that bothered me. I'm going to take some of these little enamel shapes that I have from the Field Trip collection and get them sprinkled around. And there's not too much more that I think I do to the layout. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the page. Click that subscribe button below. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page that I'm going to link down below. Excuse me. To see all the other wonderful takes on this layout and all the other days of the month. And I do appreciate you watching my channel. Leave me a comment if you would like to say something to me. I do try to respond back fairly quickly, if not almost instantaneously. You know how it is. I do just grab 2 more word stickers and stick them up at the top. And I am going to go ahead and use Genius as my title because, little play on the love of my life there, my little boy who has all these fun, nice, expensive toys around him, and he likes the TV remote. Way to go, Sammy. Oh, thank you.